Hello, this is Chaim Shapiro from Torah University. Welcome to the sixth installment of LinkedIn in 4 minutes or less. Today, we're going to talk about your work experience section and your education section on LinkedIn. Once again, to get to the edit mode, click on your picture, and then you need to scroll down when the page changes to your actual work experience. Now, you see here, I have the opportunity to add a new work experience or edit my current. I'm going into the pencil for editing the current experience. And this allows me to edit my actual experience here at Turo with this other pencil. First thing, you see here, Notify Network, toggle this to off. What happens is if you make a small change to your LinkedIn profile in terms of your job responsibilities, it'll often send it out as somebody having gotten a new job. So you don't want that to happen. Have this off. The exception is when you actually got a new promotion or a new job, toggle it on 24 hours before you announce the fact or put up the fact that you got that new position. Okay, you see here, I actually have the title of my position. This is probably the most important part. You see here, I have the Turo logo here on the left. The way you do that is allowing the autofill on LinkedIn to sync with your actual employer. See what happens when I get rid of the Y over here? That disappears, which means that it's not connected to Turo University. I need to click on that suggestion. That's going to sync it to Turo University and make sure that the logo appears and that I also appear in searches for people who are looking for folks who work at Turo University. Just to keep going down here, you also have the opportunity to include a description of what you accomplished in this position. Now, I cut and paste these bullets right off of my resume. I think LinkedIn should have a resume bullet feature, but it does not. But I think it's much better to have bullets, even though they don't line up perfectly, than having big blocks of text on social media. But I would like to see LinkedIn include a bullet feature. The other thing that's important here is you can add your top skills that are relevant to things you actually did in that position, which I think is an important thing to add as well, like you did in your About section. Another thing to show you here, it's important to show this continuity in terms of positions, especially if you've gotten progressively more senior positions at your particular employers. You see this line over here shows that I was Director of Office for Student Success and Assistant Director of Career Services, and it all flows together very nicely. The trick for this is making sure the dates line up. So you see here, July 2023 is when I started this current position, and the one before it actually ended July 2023. This also worked for a month off. So if this said June 2023, it would still show that lined up correctly. Otherwise, it might actually separate it into two separate positions, which is not something that you actually want to do. Now, one of the other questions I get very frequently on LinkedIn is, what happens when you have very, very old positions from a very, very long time ago? Should you include them? This is not your resume. You're not limited in terms of the amount of space you have. You don't have to keep it to 1 or 2 pages. So I have a job here from back, well, when President George H.W. Bush was president, and see here that I was hauling furniture, something I wish I was still capable of. To me, I think it's a good idea to include that because if somebody wants to see the full array of my work experience, they can. Most people won't, but again, if they do, it's there and there's no harm, no foul in including that information as long as they were positive work experiences. The next thing I want to focus on is your education section, which is going to be very, very similar to your work experience section. And we go down over here to your education section. You see here, I have the University of California, Riverside. Once again, I went in here and I made sure to actually sync with the UC Riverside page here on LinkedIn. That way, again, it shows the actual logo, but it also makes sure that you show up in alumni searches there.